Eyewitness News presents Newsmakers with your hosts Jane Ann Bugda and Andy Mahalchik.
Hello and welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Andy Mahalchik.
And I'm Jane Ann Bugda. Today, advice for those looking to start a new career in the new year, or for the employer looking to find that perfect person for the job.
And today we are joined by representatives of the Pennsylvania Careerlink, and you may be very surprised about the number of services they offer to those looking for a job or looking to advance in their careers.
We'll introduce you to our guest, and our conversation will begin when this edition of Newsmakers returns right after this. Welcome back to Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda along with Andy Mahalchik, and we're starting the new year off with looking for a new job or a new career. And today our guests are from Careerlink, and Andy, you've done a lot of stories, and maybe a lot of people don't realize the many services and programs that Careerlink offers.
Yeah, exactly. They don't realize how many job opportunities are out there and what training is out there or retraining for careers of the future that maybe COVID impacted your current career or your job, and there are ways out there to move along and have a very good career.
And what we're going to do is we're going to have sort of like a mini seminar with our guest. We are joined today in studio with Christine Jensen. She is the PA Careerlink Administrator for Luzerne County, and Tracy Klebon, who's the Careerlink Business Service Manager. Thank you both for being with us today. And we want to talk about Careerlink because a lot of people may not realize all the programs and all the services that you offer our community and that's offered statewide. So first of all, let's start with a simple question. Give us a little history about Careerlink. How did it all begin?
Okay, great. Thanks for having us. The Pennsylvania Careerlink works under the Department of Labor and Industry here in Pennsylvania, and it was designed to help job seekers find that family-sustaining wage that they need to stay here and be productive in Pennsylvania, and to help employers find that right employee with the skills that they need. So we're serving both the job seekers and the employers locally. And we're run locally by the Luzerne Schuylkill Workforce Development Board. We cover both Luzerne and Schuylkill counties, and we have offices in Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton, and Pottsville.
And how many career links are there around the state? I mean, we're familiar with yours because we do a lot of stories with your office. How many are there across the Commonwealth?
There's over 60 what's called comprehensive Careerlink offices like we have here in Luzerne and Schuylkill counties. But then there's affiliate offices where they might work out of a library or they might work in a community center. So in some of those more rural counties where perhaps they can't have a full office, they might have those smaller offices. But they're represented in all 67 counties throughout Pennsylvania.
And we do have the linked up to our website, so if someone is outside of Luzerne County looking to connect with the Careerlink, they can easily find it on there. Now, is there a certain criteria for someone who can come in there and use the Careerlink?
Nope. Anybody can come in, so whether you're unemployed, underemployed, you have a PhD and you're just looking to change your whole career path, we can talk to you, we can help you, we can give you the full array of services. There's some restrictions with regard to who we can spend funding training dollars on, but in terms of using our website, using our office, talking to our counselors, there's absolutely no cost and no restrictions.
And that's a good point, Christine, because I think a lot of people look at it as the unemployment office, and that's not what it is. We talk about this all the time. She said, remember, we're not an unemployment office. We help the unemployed, but we're not your typical, growing up you heard about the unemployment office. That's not what you folks do.
No. Right. So basically, years ago, it used to be the unemployment office, and they made a split quite some time, probably 15 years ago. And so although we partner with unemployment, and we do have computers that people can use to file their unemployment claim, but none of our staff works for unemployment, and we're able to give very limited information about that. But you can use our computers to file your claims if you need that service.
We've been doing a number of reports over people looking to hire. Are you seeing an increase of employers out there saying, we need someone?
Yes. Andy and I have done many stories of new industry moving into the area, whether it's manufacturing, distribution centers, lots of new opportunities and exciting opportunities that deliver family-sustaining wages into the area. So it's really exciting time to be in workforce development in northeastern PA.
And how would you, if you can, and we've all been in this business for a long time, in the media and in what you folks do, how would you describe the job market in northeastern and central Pennsylvania right now? I mean, we hear about not enough workers, then we hear about so many jobs. So how is that? It seems like it's just very confusing sometimes.
Yes, so you're hearing it right here first. It's a very healthy job market in northeastern PA. We have been very fortunate. So the one thing our job seekers have, they've shouted from the rooftops. They want family-sustaining wages, and the really exciting opportunities that come with distribution centers and manufacturers moving into the area have brought those family-sustaining wages. So we tell everyone, stay the course. You may start entry level, but it doesn't mean that that's where that ends. There's definitely a lot of opportunity for advancement. And with the distribution centers and manufacturers, entry level, but there's skilled technical positions, managerial positions, IT positions, human resource positions. So there's a gamut of opportunities for job seekers within our workforce area.
And they're really competing against one another. I see billboards all over the place around northeastern PA that they're offering this salary, $18, $19, $20 an hour, bonuses $5,000. And maybe 5 years ago, the salaries in those facilities weren't as high. But now they have to be able to attract people.
Right, they absolutely do. But the conversations I have with our local employers in northeastern PA is there are job seekers. There's an opportunity for everyone that wants to work within our workforce area.
So if someone's watching and they are an employer and they say, I do need people, I don't know where to find them, I'm not going the right route, what do they do? How do they come to you and get set up with Careerlink?
Yeah, so great question. So the first thing we do is we have a dedicated business service team. Our business services team is top notch. They are subject matter experts within specific industries. So we would sign that employer a representative to work diligently with them. They have the inside scoop on wages, competitive, what's going to make them competitive to a job seeker. Once we dedicate them a business services team member, they can then post their jobs on pacareerlink.pa.gov. That's complimentary. There is no fee for that. Our team is managing that site live day in and day out. They are flagging those job postings. So our job postings are legitimate on this website. So fraud is very far and few between. And that's really important for job seekers these days. The other thing, how we help our employer partners, is we have dedicated job fairs per industry. Sometimes we have industry events. I know you guys have covered those in the past. And then we have hiring events. They can host 3 events in our local office up to 3 times a month. This is definitely an opportunity specifically for our employer partners in industrial parks. We're centrally located downtown Wilkes-Barre. We have foot traffic, bus routes, so it's easily convenient for on-the-spot interviews. And then lastly, I'm really excited to talk about our social media component. We teamed up with the chamber, the local chamber, and we have a text messaging marketing initiative. So every time an employer posts their job on our website, that is then getting texted to our participants right to the palm of their hand. So if they're serious about their job search, we're now delivering that right to the palm of their hand, in addition to all of our social media websites. Any viewers, they can just search PA Careerlink Luzerne County, whether that's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, we should pop up.
And this information is real time.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes.
It's not like you're waiting for a letter in snail mail.
No.
And by the time you get the letter, the job is filled.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, this is in a text to say, listen, they've reached out to me. I have no time to waste. I've got to go for it.
That's
Correct.
Yeah.
If I'm interested.
Yeah, we texted out once a week all the new jobs from that week. But you can get email alerts through our website as well. So just like you would get on an Indeed or one of those big electronic job boards, the system is set up to refer jobs to you automatically. But if you sign up for the text messaging, we send it right to your phone as well.
Now, quick question, a process question. If I'm unemployed for whatever reason, and it's almost hard, some people say to be unemployed with all the opportunities out there, but for whatever reason, I don't have a job. I show up at your front door on Union Street in Wilkes-Barre. What's the process of if I'm really unemployed and I'm trying, what do they do when they walk in there first? Who do they talk to? What's the process? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Basically, you would come and you don't need an appointment, and you can do some of this online as well. If you feel more comfortable doing it online, you can do it online. We want to get you registered first on our website, careerlink.pa.gov. There's a process that you go through. If you're not real tech savvy and you want some assistance with that, you can come into any of our 3 offices in Luzerne, Schuylkill counties. We have staff there all day long that can help you. So you want to get registered on our website, and then we want you to meet with our intake coordinator. And the intake coordinator will get some information from you, and all right, you're interested in job searching, or you're interested in training. You know, find out kind of where, do you need your GED? What do you need? What kind of assistance are you looking for? And then develop some next steps for you, so that you just don't leave and you're like, well, that was not worthwhile trip. You'll leave with next steps. Here's what's next, whether it's signing up for a workshop, meeting with one of our counselors one-on-one, going to one of our partner agencies. We work with a lot of community partners, as well as educational institutions locally, so we can connect you with if we don't have the resource, connect you with the resource locally that you need.
And this is valuable information, because there are people out there who are first time looking for a job. Maybe there are people changing a career, or maybe there's someone who's, hasn't had the opportunity even to begin in the workforce, or maybe coming from someone who's been working, been at home and maybe wants to re-enter. Is there a common question that you hear from people that come in? What is like the most common question you hear from someone out there that's coming into your offices?
Sure, absolutely. How much am I going to make? That is the number one question. They want to see the bottom line in their paychecks. What is my hourly wage? What's my hourly rate, my salary, whatever that may be and whatever that looks like. However, our staff are trained to not just look at that hourly wage, but to also really kind of counsel and guide on that complete benefit package. The hourly wage is important, yes, is what pays your bills and keeps your lights on. However, that comprehensive benefit package is also very, very important.
And also the nature of the job, correct? I mean,
yes.
Excuse me, perception is reality. So you see a job, you talk to your neighbor, Uncle Joe, whatever, they say, oh, go apply for this at this company. They're great, but maybe that job isn't a right fit for you.
Right.
It might pay a good salary, but maybe you won't be happy there. So is that part of the counseling as well?
It is, and that's where I have to really give credit to our talented staff. They do a phenomenal job in really drilling down to find the best fit. So, we're always there, we're always a resource, but our goal is to get permanent employment for a job seeker or for one of our participants. And while we love to build those relationships, we really want them to succeed in the workforce and maybe not need to use our service for, some time down the road.
Right. And conversely, is that part of, excuse me, Christine, a part of, from your business services, if I'm an employer, I want to make sure the fit is right, because I don't have to start over and train somebody, then 2, 4, 5, 6 days into it, they're out the door.
Correct, yes. Right. And one of the programs that we offer that really helps the employer ensure that longevity is there is our on-the-job training program. Right now we're currently leveraging across both counties and 3 offices up to $10,000 to our employer partners in finding that right hire, and that's something we will assist with. Vetting them together, and then reimbursing that employer to ensure that that person is set up for success.
And one of the ways that we do that is we do have some assessments that we can administer to job seekers to make sure that they are the right fit for that job or that workplace. It can measure their aptitude to make sure that they are going to be successful. So the program Tracy's talking about with on-the-job training is where someone is going to hire a job seeker who perhaps doesn't have all the skills they need, but they're willing to train them on the job. And so we'll do an assessment with them to make sure that they have those aptitudes in place, and then they can train them their way.
Yes, and it's truly a fantastic program for underemployed individuals. So someone looking to skill up, maybe obtain a new skill set, it's a remarkable program.
And I do want to talk about the Skill Up program, but I do want to ask you, if someone comes in there and says, I have my resume here, and boy, I don't know what to do with it. Okay. Do you help people organize a resume and maybe get them ready? And so I'm sure you see a lot of that as someone coming in after a while and maybe doesn't have a resume that maybe will stand out. And you work with people with that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Our system will help you, walk you through the steps of building a resume. Our staff will be happy to critique your resume for you. Sometimes we'll have like a resume review where you can just walk in and get your resume reviewed, but our staff can do that with anybody on a daily basis, absolutely.
You know, speaking of resumes, and maybe I'm old school, but you would have a resume back in the 70s, I'm dating myself here, 80s, and is it one page, is it 2 pages, do I do references, that kind of thing. I'm sure there are many folks, even in my generation, changing careers because of COVID or whatever it is. Is there a right kind of resume? In other words, does one size fit all?
No.
No. We've seen different resumes for different industries. When you're talking IT or marketing, they're really fancy. When you're talking someone who is a skills, trades professional, definitely just very basic. What do you know? How well can you do it? Those are the really important things, and any licensure is important, but no one size fits all for a resume.
And you'll guide folks down the right way.
Right.
Yep.
And quite frankly, Andy, that's a great point, because everybody thinks, prepare the resume and then I can shoot this out to everybody I want to. No. You really need to tweak your resume for each individual employer, because what they're looking for isn't going to be exactly what this employer is looking for. So every time you apply for a job, you really need to tweak your resume, and we can help with that, and we can give you pointers on that as well.
And could there be such a thing as being overqualified? Even though you like the job, you're interested in it, but if you put something on that resume that may stand out and an employer says, you know, seems like a qualified person, but they're overqualified. Could be. Is there such thing as is there such thing as putting too much on there?
There could be, and that's where, like Tracy said, our staff could really help you.
And less is more. It truly is. You know, from what we're hearing from our HR professionals that we interact with on a daily basis and our team here is that a hiring manager is really only looking at that resume for a very short period of time.
Seconds.
Yes, seconds. So you really want to make sure that the information you have on there is really going to be eye-catching and thorough, and you really don't want to fill it with a lot of fluff. You really want to fill it with your skill set and what you're capable of doing and how you get the job done.
And connecting your skill set to what they're looking for in the job description. That's why, like you said, one size does not fit all. You have to fine-tune it every time.
It truly is an art.
Yeah, if you're serious, if you're doing a serious job search.
Well, we're learning a lot in our conversation on Pennsylvania Careerlink. We are going to take a quick break, and you can find information on today's program on pahomepage.com or under the Newsmakers link. And you're watching Newsmakers, and we are a proud recipient of 3 Pennsylvania Association Awards of Broadcasting for Excellence in Public Affairs Programming and a Keystone State Award. And we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Newsmakers. Jane Ann Bugdill on with Andy Mahalchik. We are joined by Christine Jensen and Tracy Klebon. They're with Pennsylvania Careerlink. They're with the Luzerne County office, and we want to get a bunch of other items and services that you offer in. So let's talk a little bit about the Skill Up program. What is that?
Skill Up is a new resource that's available on our website, and it's online learning opportunities for individuals that are looking to fine-tune their skills in a certain industry or change if they're looking for a change altogether. So there is some fantastic
opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities on there to help you if you're looking perhaps to get a credential, which would help you to get a job. So there's IT, HR, marketing. There's a whole host of different kind of online learning There's no cost to any of it. You just have to be registered on our website, and it can help you prepare for a certification test. So that's something, as Tracy was saying earlier, like that you want to put on your resume. That's the kind of thing that pique the interest of employers. Oh, they have a certification in this, and that's important to us.
Especially if they haven't been in school in a while.
Right.
It shows the employer that, yes, they've obtained a professional certification or credential, which, you know, ensures career opportunities.
And we were talking during a break about how the Careerlink here in Pennsylvania, are there similar organizations, similar groups in every state in the country?
There is. So we're part of what's called the American Job Center Network. So it's not called PA Careerlink, obviously, in other states, but it's if you just ask for the American Job Center, you will find the organization that's funded to do workforce development as we are here in PA. Yeah.
And I do want to mention that you also have services for those people with disabilities, veterans, the mature workers. Tell us a little bit about those services.
Sure. So the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation is one of our partners, also known as OVR. Certainly if you fall into that category, you can come into the PA Careerlink office. We can make that referral on your behalf. Veteran organizations, real quick, I want to touch on PA Careerlink's website. They have a new edition, and it's really great. It takes your military experience and it translates that into civilian experience.
Oh, wow.
So many times our veteran population, they're so talented and so skilled, but they are maybe a little unsure of how to market what they did in the military to a hiring professional. PA Careerlink's website does that translation for them, and we could take those skills and add it to the resume. Again, if you're a veteran who has served in any capacity, you know, definitely stop down our offices. We have a gamut of opportunities and services we can provide.
What about for those folks who might have some physical or disabilities? Can you help those folks as well? Because sometimes they may feel, folks might feel that I'm not going to apply for the job, or I'm not going to go there because I have some challenges. Can you help those folks too?
We absolutely can, and the great thing about our building is we are one floor, we're ADA compatible and compliant, so you know, if anyone had physical limitations, I would still encourage them, if they are able and capable, to come into our building, and we would have the same great staff. And the other thing is being that OVR is a partner, they also have staff located inside our office. So one-stop shop. This enables them to receive all the services under one building instead of having to go to multiple different locations in a day.
And just to follow up on that, Andy, our partner OVR does have additional services that perhaps we don't have to help. So say somebody needs an assistive device to help them get that job or keep a job. Whether, you know, say something helped them hear or see or something like that, they have some funding for those kind of services.
Yep.
And you also help the mature worker, someone
Correct.
who's looking to maybe get back into a field or get a part-time job.
Yep. And we've actually had some mature workers assisting us at PA Careerlink through the years.
They do a great job.
And they do a phenomenal job.
Because they bring a lot to the table.
They
They've been
do. They have
around.
experience and great work ethic and
Yeah.
lots of great things to bring to the
It
table.
could be generational advantage, generational perspective too.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And tell us about the program you're telling us about that connects you all to all different programs.
So we work with all of our community partners as well as all the state partners, OVR, the veterans programs, and then if it's our staff, we are continually doing training with them so they know where the resources are. Somebody has some food insecurity, or they need help with their heating bill, or you know, they would need a referral to Head Start. They're referring their individuals to us, and we're referring to them. So Jane, one thing, because I know we're tight here on time, we want to make sure everybody knows that we have funding available for training for individuals. So if you're underemployed, and underemployed, we have to look at your household income, and our intake coordinator would do that when you came in. We can provide funding for you up to $10,000 to get training in a high priority occupation. So if you want to become a commercial driver, if you want to become an LPN, lots of different IT training, the trades, healthcare, there's 100 and some training programs that are approved here in our county for those high priority occupations, and we can help you with that tuition. So that's something really important we want to make sure everybody hears about here today. And if you're not sure if you qualify or you want to look into it, again, call us, stop in, and we can go through the whole process with you to see if you would be eligible for that type of funding to get retraining or additional training in the industry that you're in.
So if someone's out there looking, what should they ask for when they call for that? What is it called? Is it a...
That they're interested in finding out if they're eligible for training funding.
Training funding. Okay, now how rewarding is it for both of you when you see someone taking the next, opening the next chapter in their life?
Yeah, it is one of, this is probably one of the most thankless positions. However, when you get to see that, because you're not thanked very often, but you're thanked in different ways. You're thanked when you get to see someone get a great career opportunity, when you see new industry moving into the area and know that there are jobs created because of you or the team. That's remarkable. So our staff, they're in the trenches day in and day out, but it's those phone calls of, hey, I had this opportunity because you reviewed my resume. Hey, you took the time to do a mock interview with me. I landed my dream career. Those are the thankful moments.
What I want everyone to know, Christine and Tracy, that we have information on today's program on pahomepage.com. So everything you heard here, you'll see it on there, and you can link up to them and give them a call. I think we've learned so much today. Christine and Tracy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
For Andy Mahalchik and everyone behind the scenes, I'm Jane Ann Bugda. We want to thank you for making Newsmakers part of your day, and we'll talk again next time.